Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Oceana Hayden with your Wednesday edition of FSU Weather, starting off at our very own Doak Campbell Stadium. It is 80 degrees and sunny. It has definitely been a really warm day here in Tallahassee, as you could probably tell. It is 80 here in Tallahassee right now. Up in Donaldsonville, just as warm, 74, and all the way down by the coast, we are looking at 68 degrees. Pretty warm all over, but very clear skies. We had no rain today, not tonight. We are looking really dry around this region. For tonight's headlines, we will be covering the warming trend that is set to continue for the tri-state area into the weekend. We will also be covering a multi-day severe weather event in the south central United States that is set to begin today. And most importantly, we will be going over how to stay safe in the sun, how to understand the UV scale, and how to properly prepare for a nice warm summer. All that and more on FSU Weather.
Good evening, Tallahassee. This is student meteorologist Joy Lone with your Wednesday edition of FSU Weather. I hope you guys had a fantastic spring break because I know I did. But coming back up to Tallahassee, I was really shocked by the 30 and 40 degree weather. But when we take a look at our local and even with our week ahead, we're going to start to see our temperatures increase and we're going to see a lot more stormy chances. And across the U.S., we are seeing a lot of severe weather as well. And most importantly, we're going to be talking about UV safety, which is really important because summer is starting to come up and we need to make sure that we stay safe, especially when we're in the sun. And now we're going to head off to Nico with the local.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, we definitely don't have those cooler temperatures that we had earlier in the week. Right now it's 80 degrees currently in Tallahassee, and we got a beautiful view of Doak Campbell Stadium right now. There's just some light cirrus clouds in the upper part of the atmosphere, so it's going to create a really nice sunset, some beautiful colors, and we have a slight breeze from the south at 11 miles per hour. But looking at the current radar, we do not expect any precipitation for later on in the day. It's going to be nice and clear, so you'll have some great stargazing for later tonight and some great sunsets. Temperatures for most of the Big Bend region are hovering in the the lower 80s and upper 70s, although down by the coast near Apalachicola with that sea breeze, you are going to get some cooler temperatures down into the 60s and 70s. As for our temperature almanac, today was a little bit above average. We had a high of 81 and a low of 55, so as you see there, our average temperatures for Tallahassee definitely nowhere near the record of 91 high and the 29 low that we've had. So it was about an average day for March here in Tallahassee. So our current, I don't know if you guys remember from a couple of days ago, we were at some really low dew points with these really cool temperatures. We were down into 20s and 30s. Right now, we're starting to go back into those normal dew points that we expect and springtime, so it's going to start to be a little bit more muggy, and especially with those warmer temperatures that we are experiencing, we might feel a little bit more uncomfortable and a little bit more muggy. So here you can see our future sea breeze winds for most of the day, but then we're going to have some showers later on into Thursday and some passing clouds, but we won't expect any more precipitation until later on into the weekend. As for tonight's temperatures, it's going to be mostly cloudy. The winds will die down a little bit, so it'll be relatively calm, and temperatures are going to be into the mid and upper 50s for most of the Big Bend region. And for tonight's forecast, it's going to be, as I said before, almost entirely all of the cities here in the Big Bend region are going to be in the 50s, a little bit down by the coast, it's going to be a little bit warmer with Apalachicola down at 60, Carabel at 59, St. Mark's at 58, and far it will cool down a little bit into the mid and lower 50s. As for tomorrow's temperatures, it's going to be 84, just a little bit warmer than it was today. It will be partly cloudy, and we will have that slight breeze just like today from the south at 10 miles per hour. So it might be similar as to what we were experiencing today. And same thing with the sea breeze from the south. We're going to be having cooler temperatures all along the coast in St. Mark's, Carabel, and Apalachicola. And then as you go farther north, temperatures will rise into the mid to upper 80s. As for a look at the week ahead, yeah, we're going to have temperatures into the 80s for most of temperature highs into the 80s for most of the week. But then coming the end of the weekend, we will have some showers, 70% on Saturday, all the way into Tuesday, where we're going to have over 50% chance of rain up until Wednesday, where things will once again clear out and temperatures will slightly decrease into the 70s. So how will it look for the rest of Florida, Nikki?
Thank you, Nico. Florida is looking pretty nice right now. If you like that warm weather, today was a great day for you. It is 78 degrees here in Tallahassee right now. And as we go a little further south, we're seeing basically the same all around the state, high 70s, but we can see a little bit of a 71 here on the coast in Pensacola. So maybe a little bit different, but in the 70s all around. You know, it's Florida. It's always pretty humid here, but we have a bit of a lower dew point in comparison to the rest of the state here. 46 in Tallahassee, but mostly in the high 50s and the low 60s for the rest of the state. Key West is the high one there at 64. Right now in Florida, it is looking pretty clear. Not too much in the way of rain. You can see a little bit off in the ocean, but that's not going to be hitting us currently because it is moving away from Florida. Pretty clear here as well up in Tallahassee. No rain on the radar, couple of clouds, but nothing too bad. Right now, this is a beautiful look at the res right now. I wish that we could see some people on some kayaks here. It would have been a great day to go out, get on that water. 73 degrees. It is a little bit windy though, so maybe if you're on a kayak, you could, you know, float away. You know, it's strong winds. And as we get to Central Florida, pretty cloudy on the radar, but again, no rain here. And for Gainesville, if you're with the Gators, it is 81 degrees and it is cloudy. Not as windy as it is here, but still just a gorgeous day to get out, maybe get a little bit of a tan, go out to the pool at your apartment. And wowee, as we get to South Florida, it is once again clear skies all around. Miami, great city, 78 degrees there, mostly cloudy, a little bit windy there, so make sure you don't blow away. For the next couple of days, we might be seeing a little bit of rain towards South Florida, but really the state is still looking pretty clear, maybe a little bit drier than we're used to. We usually like to see a little bit of rain, but I don't really see any right here, right now. Tonight, it is going to be 57 degrees here, and all around the state, it's basically in the 50s, but as we get to South Florida, we're seeing 70s and even 74 in Key West. But yeah, we are that cold point, and 66 in Pensacola tonight as well on the coast. Just an absolutely gorgeous night. Maybe go out with your friends, get some cupcakes, have a little bit of a birthday party. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. It's my friend Kirsten's birthday today. But tomorrow, 84 degrees here. It's going to be pretty toasty all around the state. Reaching up to 90 in Fort Myers is basically like summer there. That is actually a little bit crazy to think it's only March, I believe. It just turned spring, and it's going to be pretty warm all around. But as we head out, taking a zoom out, I heard that there's going to be some severe weather. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Elizabeth?
Portions of the country are experiencing some severe weather right now and heading into the end of the week. So there is a slight risk, which is a 2 out of 5 risk in place for tomorrow in portions of the country, and an enhanced risk, which is a 3 out of 5 risk in place for places on Friday as well. And so our main threat for tomorrow is going to be large hail, and wind and hail will be our threat on Friday. So our Storm Prediction Center outlook for today just showed a marginal risk for areas of central Indiana and central Illinois as well, with our non-severe threat ranging all the way from western New York, and you can't see it on this map, but it ranges all the way out to eastern Nevada, which is a very large range of thunderstorms, although those are not going to be terribly severe. And here is our radar with that storm right now. So we're seeing that those showers move out of the area, and we don't see much heavy rain going on right now, but we do see some lightning bolts there. So there is that threat for that severe weather, and we see that moving out towards I-75 and I-80, heading towards our east coast right now. So that is our main concern there. And this is our forecast instability map. So where we see this red, we'll see more unstable atmospheric conditions, and so that is what is going to cause these stronger storms. And here's that same shape that we just saw. So we see we have a slight risk, and again, that is our 2 out of 5 risk for Central Texas, so it looks like Dallas is a part of that, as well as Norman and parts of central Oklahoma, and that the marginal risk will range all the way up into the same places where we saw that severe weather today. And so, like I said, our main risk for tomorrow is going to be hail. So we see these black shadings, which means that there is a significant threat for large size hail. And so that is what we will see tomorrow. And for our Friday, we have our bullseye right here around western Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana, and so that is going to be our main threat there. But as of right now, we're not seeing anything too terrible in those areas. But what are we seeing in the rest of the southeast ahead of that severe weather?
So yeah, right now in the southeast, looking at our live cameras, things are actually pretty clear. We've actually got a beautiful view right here from the Mississippi River here in New Orleans. Clear skies, just bright and sunny all throughout. A little bit farther east in Beaufort, South Carolina, there's a line of clouds associated with some thunderstorms that are currently over Atlanta. Here in Atlanta, there are also some clouds. And in Tampa, it's partly cloudy and also pretty clear. So actually beautiful skies for most of the southeast right now. And current temperatures, the majority of the southeast are under some pretty warm temperatures right now, especially the western part of the southeast, Texarkana, Mississippi Valley region in the 80s and upper 70s. And as you go farther east, temperatures are a little bit cooler with Charleston at 64, Charlotte at 54, and Nashville at 55. But as you go farther south, temperatures will increase. During the current dew points, right now things are actually looking pretty muggy, especially in the western part of the southeast, with Shreveport having dew points of 64, 63, and 62 in Little Rock. As you go a little bit farther east, dew point temperatures are a little bit lower, so things will be, the conditions will feel a little bit drier. And couple that with the temperature anomalies that we are currently having, with above 19 degrees in Shreveport and above 15 in Houston. These really high temperatures and these muggy conditions are really going to make conditions feel really, really muggy and really, really uncomfortable. So if you are going outside in these regions, please stay hydrated and please have access to air conditioning because it's going to be very, very uncomfortable. As for our current radar, most of the southeast is actually looking pretty clear right now. There's only a few thunderstorms here in the northern part of Georgia and into North Carolina, Tennessee, and South Carolina. Zooming in, most of the thunderstorms are concentrated here at the foothills of the Appalachians in the Chattahoochee region, probably around cities near Ellijay and Helen, Georgia. So that's where most of the rain is concentrated right now. And as it goes farther east, it's getting a little bit lighter, so there's not too much of a risk, but please keep in mind that there are some showers. As for a future radar, once those rains pass out, there won't be much in terms of precipitation until later on near the weekend, where we do have a front approaching that's going to bring some very severe weather to the Mississippi Valley region, especially Jackson, Mississippi, and in Arkansas. So the SPC actually has an enhanced risk for this region later on into Friday and Saturday. So please keep in mind there will be probably watches for tornadoes and severe weather. As for rainfall, there will be about a few inches of rainfall for some places in the south, especially Arkansas and Oklahoma and Texas. As for tonight, temperatures will be a little bit cooler into the 50s for most of the southeast, and tomorrow temperatures will remain pretty warm for most of the area, with temperatures in the upper 80s for Jackson and Montgomery, Alabama. So now I'm going to pass it off to the desk and talk to us about some UV, how to protect ourselves from sun rays and UV.
Thank you so much, Nick. Yep, summer's coming up quick, so you got to make sure that you're prepared for that summer heat and those summer sunburns.
Of course, and we don't even just get sunburns in the summer. I mean, you got a sunburn in spring break, didn't you?
I did get a sunburn. Even when it's cloudy outside, you can get a sunburn. I did burn one of my arms because I was riding my bike. But yeah, across the U.S., there are an average of 702 heat-related deaths every year, and I feel like we don't take it as seriously as we should sometimes.
We don't, and at extreme UV levels, like 11 plus, damaging sunburns can actually occur in less than 10 minutes. So even if you think that, oh, I'll put sunscreen on after maybe 30 minutes of being outside, that's not enough. You can get a very bad sunburn.
Yeah, we are from Florida. We have a lot of people here that are fans of the beach, and you know, if you do go out a lot and you get those sunburns, you could be increasing your chances of getting diseases like skin cancer later on in your life. So we have some tips here to show how you can be better at protecting yourself from the sun.
Of course. So firstly, apply sunscreen like I mentioned, but also wearing a hat is important to protect the UV rays from actually hitting your face. And don't forget to wear sunglasses because your eyes can actually be damaged by UV rays as well.
Yep, always make sure that you're wearing some clothing as well. I know sometimes if you go to the beach you don't want to wear your long sleeve, but you know, it's the best chance of protecting yourself from the sun, and also staying in the shade can help increase your chances of not getting a sunburn. But going to the UV protection chart, you should always, before you go out into the sun, check what the UV level is going to be for the day, because it can really help you figure out what you should and should not do as precautions for what to do when you go outside.
Of course, and we're also going to be mentioning the difference between heat stroke and heat exhaustion, where heat stroke will cause you a lot of confusion and dizziness, and you can actually become unconscious from that. And if you do end up having a heat stroke, please call 911 because it is very dangerous. While heat exhaustion is a lot of dizziness as well, but you will start sweating and maybe you'll feel a little bit nauseous. But you need to make sure that you drink a lot of water and go indoors if you start to feel that heat exhaustion, because you could lead up to a heat stroke. So make sure that you stay safe in the sun. And now we're going to pass things off to Genevieve with the National.
And thank you, Nikki, for that. That was really some great information. I learned a little bit about UV, which, coming from Miami, I think UV is pretty important, especially for your skin. We want to stay young here, but staying with that young, we gotta get away from it, because this heat that we were seeing all before kind of shifted gears in the past couple days as we were arriving to Tallahassee after spring break and seeing a nice 32 as we left for school on Monday morning. But across the country, we're seeing it chillier off to the West Coast as they received quite a lot of rain due to that low pressure system, bringing in that mountain snow and all that rain. And you'll see those conditions kind of are highlighted here as we see a bit of a dry line separating the eastern part of the country back there with the western part. That western part having that moisture moved on over and really creating for kind of not ideal conditions in the southeast and for places in the deep south. But really, we're dealing with some decently nice conditions as we inch past the first couple days of spring. Monday, first day of astronomical spring. I know, 32 degrees, 33 when I left the house. Not ideal, but you know, we're getting there. We're getting there, and soon it'll be summer and everything will be beautiful. And the flowers are already blooming, so I'm pretty happy. But this surface chart here will have this beautiful high pressure, which will soon leave as that mountain snow and all that rain comes from the west coast on over into the Four Corners region and into the southwest, really creating quite a lot of rain. And also a big thing to think about is the snow melt and the rivers overflowing, so we deal with a lot of floods because of that. Another form of water, here we have this moisture highlighted on the water vapor map, and that moisture is really giving way and really highlighting the storms that are occurring into just past the Four Corners into the Central Plains. So really, you're getting rain if you're in that area. But if we head a little bit more eastward, we're looking clear for the Central Plains and going further closer to the Great Lakes region. But you're seeing some snow. If you are in Ohio, if you are in Indiana, which we'll get a cam of you in just a bit, but you're getting some rain. So ideally, IU, here we are, not IU. Our producer Ian decided to put in a University of Indianapolis cam. I personally have never been. I'm sure it is a wonderful school, but you'll see those gray clouds and that rain really start to come in as no sun is present. Currently 53 degrees, some pretty gusty winds at 22 miles per hour coming from the south, so kind of not ideal conditions, but honestly great if you are on campus to get some studying in. The northeast, you will be getting that rain coming from the Great Lakes region, but for now, you're looking stunning. BC, what a beautiful cam, currently 44 degrees. Might want to carry a jacket if you are going to a beautiful library, because honestly, I love the architecture up in Boston. I think it's stunning, but pretty chilly for spring. The West Coast, you are seeing that mountain rain and that mountain snow just persist. Las Vegas, though, you are nice and safe, currently 59 degrees, mostly sunny. You are also getting some slightly gusty winds, but listen, you are lucky. You have that beautiful sun shining. That Indianapolis does not. Speaking of sun, we've been getting quite a lot of heat down here in Florida, but with that rain, we got some cooler conditions for the West Coast. California, you're looking cooler than average, and you are also seeing more rain than average, so really anomalous temperatures and anomalous rainfall. That rainfall will be highlighted in the next couple days as we see some severe weather. But Oceana, what's happening around town? Maybe a look at our lifestyle?
Yeah, thank you, Genevieve. We are going to take a look at our lifestyle section for today. So if you are out and about today around the local area, it is absolutely beautiful. Sunny skies, no rain, warm temperatures. These are some great weather. We're starting another live look at Doak Campbell Stadium. Sunny, bright, haven't hit sunset time yet, but because of those clouds up in the atmosphere, I expect it to be a very beautiful sunset. As far as airport delays go, it is clear, no delays here or anywhere else in the United States. We've had some pretty warm weather, nice clear skies, so if you are traveling, that is something to look forward to. If you're going to be out and about tomorrow morning, dog walking, perhaps cat walking, we will have nice temperatures, 56 at 7, 59 at 9, and it will get up to 70 within that 2 hours at 11 a.m. But overall tomorrow will be warm and sunny, so these will be great conditions to get outside in. For our pollen report, if you've got allergies, definitely look out. I know I do, and I can feel it. We've got some high here for the grass pollen, and for our stargazing, it is poor. Not the best conditions tonight, thanks to those partly cloudy skies that we will see later. But moving on into our sports. For FSU softball at North Carolina, if you are traveling to North Carolina, it will be 82 degrees and mostly sunny on Friday if you plan on going out there and cheering on the Noles. As well as in Virginia, it will be raining, so it's not the best conditions for a baseball game, but as always, support the Seminoles through and through. 64 degrees, a little chilly up in Virginia. For our beach camera, 72 degrees at Shell Point. A little bit away from here, but it's absolutely stunning there. Mostly sunny, slight wind, not as windy there as it is here in Tallahassee, but it still looks absolutely stunning there. For our morning beach forecast, if you want to drive over to Shell Beach in the morning, it is going to be 62 at 7 a.m. and warm up to about 68 at 11. A little bit cooler on the coast compared to Tallahassee, but it will be sunny and absolutely wonderful conditions to go to the beach tomorrow. Looking ahead at our weekend, sunny on Friday, yay, but Saturday, not so good. Saturday and Sunday, we will be looking for some rain. It's going to warm up, but we will have definitely some rain happening, so I would plan on that and look out for that as well. But for Friday, beautiful sunny day. It's going to be very warm. Thursday, again, warm, but I'll let you take another look at that. Elizabeth, what are we looking at as far as local goes?
Let's take one last look at our Doak Campbell Stadium camera. Absolutely gorgeous sunset right now. Not too much happening in the sky right now as our sun is going to set in about an hour and a half or so. It's currently 80 degrees south at 11 miles per hour, so beautiful outside, and our radar goes to show for that. Not much happening now as far as any, so a beautiful day, and it will continue to be a beautiful night if you have any of your evening time plans. And across the rest of the Big Bend, we're seeing similar temperatures. We're sitting at 74, upper 70s across the rest of our southern Georgia counties, and sitting at 81 in Quincy. So a very warm day, but a very nice day as well. Our temperature almanac, we are sitting above average right now. Our high today was 81 degrees and our average was 75, and our low was a little bit closer to our average of 50, but at least it was not 29 degrees like it was in 1960, even though it did feel like that earlier this week, which is insane that we're now sitting in the 80s after being in the 30s on Monday. It is currently sitting pretty wet, but more on the drier side, if that makes sense. We're sitting at 46 for our dew point here.
In Tallahassee, a little bit more wet by the coast. It's 66 there. It'll be 52 in Donaldsonville and 46 in Thomasville, so just a little bit on the muggier side. For our future radar, we'll see those clouds move in as we head into early tomorrow morning, and we'll see some of those pop-up showers possibly, but by this time tomorrow, it'll be absolutely gorgeous outside. Probably going to be a muggy day as well, as we see those southerly winds bring up some of that moisture from the Gulf. But besides that, it's going to be a very pleasant day tomorrow as well. Tonight it'll be 54 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. So a beautiful night if you want to head outside, although like we said before, maybe if stargazing was on your plan, it might not be too great for that. And for the rest of the Big Bend tonight, we're sitting at pretty similar temperatures, sitting in the mid-50s across southern Georgia. It'll be 53 in Quincy, 59 in Carabel, and 60 in Apalachicola, so not too bad there. And for tomorrow, it's going to be 84 degrees under partly cloudy skies, winds out of the south at 10 miles per hour, so again, a very warm day. Tomorrow, as well as the rest of the Big Bend region, it's going to hit 85 in Madison, 86 in Valdosta and Bainbridge. Those look like our two warmest spots in our area for tomorrow. And for our week ahead, we're going to see those storms move in this weekend and last into the beginning of next week, but we're going to see some much nicer conditions as we head into the end of next week. Now I'm going to pass it off to Nikki and Genevieve to close the show.
Is right, nice conditions for the rest of the week. We love nice conditions. Somehow they put the two environmental science students on the same desk. What do you think about that?
I feel great about it. I think that weather is great, and it's going to be a gorgeous week, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time outside.
Absolutely. Even tonight, if you can get out, please try to. I mean, Madison Social, if you want to maybe go out on the town, maybe get dinner with a friend, that would be pretty nice. You have any special plans for tonight?
No, I think tonight would be a good night to watch some sports at the Sportsplex.
Absolutely.
As well.
But please monitor the UV, right, Nikki?
Make sure, yeah, the sun is setting out later because of that time change, so make sure that you're always wearing your sunscreen when you go outside.
Wear that sunscreen, yeah. Maybe wear white instead of black like the two of us. But yeah, keep it light outside as best as possible because we are getting warmer. But please keep up with us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
Make sure you like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And hopefully right now you're watching us live on YouTube. You can also watch our past shows. Tuesday shows are the best in my humble opinion, but
Tuesday Top 5 show. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well. We have a lot of behind the scenes stuff there.
And just quickly, we wanted to announce that we will no longer be streaming to WFSU and that we'll only be streaming to YouTube live at 6 every weekday starting April 1st. Not an April Fool's joke.
No.
But we'll throw it back to the wall with Joy for one last look at our 7-day.
Thank you. So for our upcoming week, we are seeing some pretty cool temperatures, but not as cool as we were seeing. But we are starting to get a lot of storms in the area, and we're starting to see an increase of temperatures as we go throughout our week. Thank you, and have a fantastic night.